Do a cloud. Hi. Thank you so much for joining us tonight for our live Zoom class presenting natural solutions for spring. We are so excited to bring this information to you. We've prepared a great slideshow. We're going to go over the details of how you can manage seasonal discomfort and threats using essential oils and lots of other great lifestyle tweaks and tips. So first, I'd like to introduce myself and my partner, Michelle Schachter. So Michelle is a premier wellness advocate with doTERRA. She's also an essential oil educator who focuses on using her essential oils to support emotions and emotional wellness. Michelle is also the lead singer in a band called Full Circle in Maryland. So she happens to not only be an essential oil rock star, but also a real rock star in real life. My name is Jeanne Blodi. I am a silver leader with doTERRA, and I'm also a functional medicine health coach. So I mostly focus on the physical and foundational health and wellness aspects of essential oils. So without further ado, I am going to present a short vignette or video by a doTERRA wellness advocate named Emily Pfeiffer. And she is going to really open up our class with some fantastic information about how you can begin your oil journey. So here we go.
Hi, my name is Emily Pfeiffer, and welcome to our Natural Solutions class. I am a wife, a mom, a professional musician, and a doTERRA wellness advocate. I am so thrilled to be a part of your exciting, life-changing journey toward wellness and natural, abundant living. My journey began 5 years ago when a dear friend shared oils with me to help me through a tough time in my singing career. Since I was born and raised in Hawaii, when I moved to the mainland, I really struggled with the climate and the altitude, and I even had to cancel performing gigs because I couldn't count on my body to do what I needed it to do. This was so stressful and traumatic for me. And when my friend gave me samples of frankincense and melaleuca, an On Guard protective blend, actually it's kind of a funny story. The first thing I asked her was, is this one of those things where you have to like believe in the oils for them to work? She gave me this weird look and she's like, no, these are scientific oil sacs that are separated from plants. They're the plant's defense mechanism. And then she told me they've been used for like thousands of years. And so I sat back and I thought, this is scientific and epic. I think I'll try them. And I will never forget what it felt like just a few days later when I felt those same debilitating issues creep up again. To have safe, natural, and effective solutions right there at my fingertips. Talk about empowerment. And the rest, as they say, is history. These oils have been a catalyst to help me take control of my health. And they have blessed every single member of my family. Our intention with the Natural Solutions class today is to educate you and empower you with the tools that you need to take care of you and your families naturally as a first line of defense. And if you haven't already, take this opportunity to write down your top 3 health priorities and what they've been costing you in time and money and energy. There will come a time when you'll need that list near the end of our class. So, the Natural Solutions class, what's it all about? Well, we're going to cover 3 questions. Number 1, what are essential oils? Number 2, how do we use them? And number 3, what is the best way to get them? And quickly, let me show you where they are on your handout. If you don't have a hard copy yet, you can go to www.sharesuccess.com/library, and you can download a PDF right now. Okay, so our first question, what are essential oils, is covered on page 1. Pages 2 and 3 cover our second question, how do we use essential oils? And then our third question, the best way to get them, are covered in our last several pages of the handout. You are going to receive some great information in this class. You are going to experience the oils themselves and feel their immediate and powerful effects. You are going to hear stories about how these precious gifts have changed millions of lives, and about how we are creating a massive economic impact in areas of the world that are suffering from great poverty. And most of all, we are going to have a blast. Welcome, our doTERRA family. Welcome to this path to wellness. Let's get you going. What are yours can we be? Okay, let's get started with question number 1. What are essential oils? If you'd like to follow along with me, I'm just right here on your class handout. Okay, so let's start with the Egyptians. Egyptians used plant extracts for health, cosmetic, and religious purposes. Isn't that so cool? And then Hippocrates, the father of modern medicine, right, used plants on his patients, especially oregano. He loved oregano. Frankincense and myrrh were given to the Christ child, as we know. And then something that I didn't know, essential oils were actually used during World War II by Jeanne. And now, 2008 to the present time, doTERRA forms co-impact partnerships with growers around the world to protect agricultural traditions and provides the most potent essential oils in existence today. These certified pure therapeutic grade oils empower over 2 million homes right now, and research continues to support the use of essential oils for wellness. So for our first experience, I'd love you to pass around some wild orange in your class, and we're going to play a little game here. I'd like you to think of something or someone that makes you super cranky. Okay, get the thought, get the thought, get the thought. And then when the wild orange comes around, you're going to take off the cap and you're going to inhale the oil. And my dare to you, or my challenge, is to see if you can maintain that cranky thought while you're smelling the wild orange. Good luck with that.
She is amazing, isn't she? I have to say, just listening to that music got me so excited. I feel like my heart's just singing when I hear her talking about all the awesome things that it's done for her and how it's supported her life. I did get my wild orange out, and I apologize to those of you that don't have it, but if you have another oil, feel free to pull it out and enjoy it. So in the meantime, this is kind of obvious stuff, but I want to go over it. And if someone's dialed in or they're listening to this later, I want them to be able to, get the full effect. So if they're not able to see the slides. There are people out there that aren't even sure if they have allergies. They just sort of coincidentally get a cold or have symptoms during the same time of the year that everybody else has allergies. So there can sometimes be other things that are happening in your body that might sort of, check more boxes, and then you'll know, yeah, you know what, this probably is because of the pollen that's coming off the trees and not because I caught a cold from someone. So if you have congestion and a runny nose, literally nonstop, that's one box. Check. If you're constantly rubbing your nose in an upward motion and you have that like little line across your nose, this is really especially for kids. They're just all kinds of like hands in the face and stuff. Dark circles are always under your eyes. You snore when you sleep, and you find yourself like hanging with your mouth hanging open, your mouth breathing during the day, and there's a constant nasal drip and persistent throat tickle, and you're clearing your throat. Or if you're someone who has or has had asthma symptoms and then they really kick in during that time of year, we got a lot of checks here. And then if you have any kinds of skin eruptions or eczema in particular, there's a good chance that that too is a result of you having those, seasonal threats. So I'd like to talk to you a little bit about, before we get into, the meat and potatoes of this, ways that you can also help to strategize in your home. It's funny. I compiled a lot of information, and I went to a lot of different sources that I respect and appreciate their wisdom in certain situations. And the first thing on everybody's list is stay in on high pollen days. You know what? Not everybody has that possibility. I mean, if you have a job or you have kids and places that you have to be, you can't just stay in. We want to help to fix ourselves from the inside out so that we don't have to make that decision to not leave our houses when there are high pollen days. One thing that you can do, you may not like to, but you can close your windows. And then just show a little gratitude for the fact that, maybe you have an air conditioner that you can turn on if it's warm. Couple of other great suggestions: remove your shoes, your jacket, and even your clothes at the front door. Have, if you're somebody who's working outside or spending a lot of time outdoors, you don't want to go in and get the pollen or the allergens that you've been in contact with on your furniture, on your couch or your chairs or your bed or anywhere in your, in your private spaces. Another great idea is to wet your comb and run it through your hair, when you get in, because it settles in those spaces, on your, in your hair and on your skin. If you're someone like me who, you're not going to get a comb through your hair, maybe a little spritz and kind of just move it around so it falls off you. You do want to vacuum often. Change your vacuum bags and your filters often, or if you have a vacuum that doesn't use a bag, get in there and wipe that thing out so you can get the pollen out. HEPA filter in your home or an air purifier is a fantastic idea. Just using simple saline to irrigate your nasal passages is another thing that I know works for me. I don't really personally suffer terribly, but that helps me a ton. And of course, we're going to go over the details, but using essential oils topically and internally to support your discomfort. So I mentioned briefly earlier about how I like to focus on and concentrate on foundational health and wellness. So in a case like this, where you're looking to reduce inflammation in your body, there are some things you can do just in your everyday life. You definitely want to think about cleaning up your diet. Anything that you're eating can cause inflammation in your body. So you want to add foods that are high in omega-3 oils and fermented foods. Second, I'm going to keep muting people as they come in. You want to look for low histamine foods. I didn't know about high and low histamine foods before I started becoming certified as a health coach. So yes, there's more, but there are foods that are actually high in quercetin or quercetin, and that's something like raw onions, red grapes, apples, kale, spinach, bee pollen, and some others. You want to avoid high histamine foods. This, for me, is the heartbreaker right here. Chocolate, wine, strawberries, bananas, oranges, dairy, eggs, and there are more, so you may want to investigate that. Definitely stay away from, and these are just things you want to do even if you're not looking to protect yourself from seasonal threats, okay? These are really things that we should all be thinking about all the time. Skipping artificial flavors, colors, sweeteners, preservatives, they are all going to increase histamine release and response in your body. And you want to do something called avoiding cross-reactivity foods. So what does that mean to you? Well, this is kind of interesting, and I didn't put this up here because I got it from a doctor, but I know you can find it online. It is a cross-reactivity chart. And if you go for allergy testing, which if you're really suffering, it isn't a bad idea to do that. There's more to it than just foods and external things, though, because there's still so many other things besides pollen. There's dander and dust mites, different types of grass. You could be allergic to some and not others. There are days when you may just be exposed to one, and then there may be other days where you're exposed to many. So that cross-reactivity chart will help you if you know you're allergic to something like ragweed. You know then that you want to avoid things like cantaloupe, honeydew, watermelon, zucchini, and cucumber. Like, who knew that those things were related to ragweed? I didn't know that. So anyway, avoiding cross-reactivity foods. Also know, dairy happens to be a high histamine food, but it also thickens mucus secretion. So if you're someone who does have that postnasal drip and that constant running, it's going to get worse if you're a high dairy consumer. Another great thing to do is to eat local honey. Start with 1 teaspoon a day. and you can get yourself up to a tablespoon if you're really still suffering with symptoms and you're not reaching for any over-the-counter remedies. And that's where we're going to come in today. We're going to help you to incorporate other lifestyle tips and tweaks. But these things that I just went over are definitely going to help you. So here we are. This is the handout that I did share online with many of you. It's not a big deal because we have it here, and I'm going to briefly go over it. I know that that Emily did cover some points of this, but I kind of want to point out for the greater population that we all know there currently is what we're still following this sort of conventional model, this modern approach to wellness. And it's really designed to manage symptoms with products that are made from isolated synthetic agents that are known to cause some side effects. So you could actually be suffering from something you're already taking, and it could actually be making you more vulnerable to seasonal threats. We do know that at this point with that conventional model, nothing's really changed. We're still all here because we're looking for alternatives. We're looking for solutions. So our natural approach is addressing our body's needs and root causes, and we're looking to use essential oils because they're natural. They're completely natural, and they're extracted from plants, the parts of the plants that is their own protection created by nature that we're going to use to support our own wellness in the same way. So the way she showed that magnified plant, we have that picture here, and we know that these natural aromatic compounds are extracted and distilled for our own health benefits the same way. They contain hundreds of different compounds, and they can get into spaces in our body that any of those other things that you've tried are just never going to get. They're never going to get across those biofilms that are around certain bacteria or threats or pathogens that are in your body. And you should also know, as we move along and we talk about using essential oils to support this and any of your other foundational health, you always want to start with one drop, unless you're doing some of the things that Michelle's going to go over with you. But if you're just applying one drop, one oil to yourself topically, whether to the bottom of your feet or an area of concern, you always want to start with one drop. They are so potent that one drop of peppermint oil that you might put into a cup of boiling water to enjoy a cup of tea, perhaps to support digestion, is the equivalent to 28 peppermint tea bags, to give you an idea of just how potent that one drop is going to be. But you may want to use it more frequently, which Michelle will go over. So another thing that Emily kind of touched on is the fact that doTERRA is safe and 100% pure. Yes, they have created a completely new standard of quality that if you're looking for a therapeutic benefit, you are not going to find from any other essential oil out there ever. So at this point, I'm unmuting Michelle so that she can go ahead and share her story and how to use essential oils. I'm going to go back to that page. Okay, sorry. Go ahead, Michelle. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. Thank you, Jeannie. Great job so far. And I wanted to just go over the last part of this page, which talks about the 3 different ways that you can use essential oils. So some of you might be new to this, and I thought it would be helpful to start with the basics. So we say that there's 3 ways to use them. You can use them aromatically, and aromatically could be just opening the bottle and smelling right from the bottle. Or it could be using a diffuser, which if you haven't seen a diffuser, it's just a small device that you add water to most of the time, add a couple of drops of your oil, and it vibrates and puts out a mist into the air so that you can, Jeannie's showing hers, is in the background there, that will diffuse the oil into the air, and so you enjoy it aromatically and the rest of your family can too. I will say that my family first enjoyed it aromatically. I just came home and started diffusing lemon in my kitchen. And it was funny because I noticed everyone who walked in went, ah, I mean, just kind of made an entrance that way. So it's a nice thing to have in your kitchen. The second way we use oils is topically. As Jeannie referenced, you can take a drop of oil and put it on an area of concern. You can use the reflexology points all over your body, but particularly on the bottom of your feet is a very efficient way to deliver the oils to an area of concern. And then I want to mention also, when you're applying the oils topically, it's also a great thing to dilute them. As we mentioned, the oils are very potent, so you only need a drop. And if you want to kind of hold the oil in an area, dilution is a great way to do that. So you can use something, we usually recommend fractionated coconut oil because it absorbs so nicely and doesn't leave you with an oily feeling. But there are other carrier oils that you can use, such as jojoba oil, or even olive oil in a pinch. But again, you don't want to feel greasy. So I like the fractionated coconut oil for that. And of course, it's great a way to just massage the oils. We think of going to a masseuse that uses oils that way, but we can do that for ourselves as well, and it can be very powerful. And then the third way that we would use oils would be internally. Now, there are going to be a few oils that we do not use internally, and I'm sorry I don't have my bottle sitting right here, but when you have a bottle of oil from doTERRA, it's very nice. Thank you, Jeannie. My girl there showing Vanna White. When you have the supplemental facts on the bottle, that lets you know that it is something that you could use internally. And the ways that we go about doing that are either just, you could take a drop and put it right underneath your tongue, right from the bottle. That's one way. There are these things called veggie caps that you can get. That's just an empty capsule, and you add a drop in there and you can swallow it just like you'd swallow any other sort of soft gel. Or what I do sometimes, if I want to get my kids to take something, I might mix it in a little tiny glass with some juice or something like that, so they can just kind of down it quickly, depending on what it is. So those are the three different methods for using the oils. The other piece that Jeannie wanted me to discuss, I feel like I have a pretty great story when it comes to allergies. So some of you that might be in this class right now might have known me years ago. Before joining doTERRA, I suffered horribly from allergies, and I reluctant to call them seasonal allergies because really I had something bothering me pretty much all year long. I did go do those allergy tests several times over my life. I'm 52 now, but even when I was, before I started high school, I remember having my first allergy test. And they would test something like 60 different items on my back and down my arms. And I remember both when I was a young person and then later, maybe when I was in my 40s, I had it done again. And I reacted to all but 2 of the items that they tested on me. I mean, my back would just be broken out like I had been attacked by a swarm of mosquitoes or something. It was crazy. So I went through allergy injections. I was on no less than 3 prescription medications for my allergies. As a musician, it was always such a struggle for me because when my allergies would flare up, I would lose my voice. I was always concerned about that happening. And then inevitably I would, have this terrible reaction with my allergies at certain times of the year. And it would always turn into sinus infection, which turned into bronchitis. And sometimes something even worse. I was hospitalized with my asthma on several occasions over my life. So needless to say, my doctors were very quick to put me on a lot of medications, inhalers, and things that I took every day. And I kind of took for granted that that was just the way it was for me, that this was just something that I had to settle for. So if I go back about 4 years ago, I began with doTERRA, and of course I fell in love with the oils first. Lavender was my gateway oil, helping my family sleep beautifully, which was a lovely thing to have happen. And as I got more involved with doTERRA, I started looking into their supplements. We have a trio of supplements that we call Lifelong Vitality. And I decided, I'd been following Dr. Oz's protocol and buying vitamins all over the place, but can't really say that I noticed a big difference in taking those vitamins. So I decided to give these a try and see if it made a difference for me. Fast forward to maybe a month or so after I started using the Lifelong Vitality, I started realizing that I didn't really need my inhalers. I hadn't had asthma symptoms in a really long time, and I thought that was interesting. So I decided to stay on the Lifelong Vitality and experiment further, and I actually stopped taking some of the medications that I took every day. And as that went on, I started realizing for the first time in my life, I could do that and I was okay. And to take it one step further, I made a few changes in my diet, just simple things. I tried to be more conscious about processed foods and things like that. But I continued taking the Lifelong Vitality every day. I take them in the morning and with my evening meal. And now when I go visit my doctor, she still cannot believe that I'm not asking her to refill any of my prescriptions, that I'm not taking Claritin D, which I took for years, or just even the regular Claritin for a while. I'm not taking anything that I took before. I no longer need any of my over-the-counter medications or prescription medications that I had been on. And I am completely symptom free. Even this time of the year when people are just plagued with allergies, I no longer live in the fear of losing my voice as my band schedule starts to heat up and we're doing more and more gigs. I do 3 to 4 a week at this time of year. And I'm not worried about losing my voice because I have postnasal drip going constantly. So I really think that the game changer for me was the Lifelong Vitality. And then if I do have something that pops up, if I get a sniffle here or there, I have my oils to support me. So I love Breathe. I love peppermint even, it oxygenates your whole system in seconds, just inhaling that, even out of the bottle. But sometimes I like to put it in my hands and just sort of breathe it in my nose and mouth at the same time. It perks me up as well. I'll put it on the back of my neck. There's a trio of oils that can also help if there are already symptoms that pop up, which I'm sure Jeannie's going to talk about more specifically in a minute. But lemon, lavender, and peppermint, this time of year, I diffuse that in my common areas of my house. And I really find that my whole family, my husband also had some seasonal allergies. So I just diffuse, and even that makes a huge difference. And very empowering for us to be able to have something as natural as an essential oil to target something like that. So I'm going to turn it back over to Jeannie, but I hope that helps you. And I think she's going to talk more in depth about the Lifelong Vitality. So thanks, Jeannie.
Thank you, Michelle. That was awesome, all of it. I personally knew your story, but every time I hear it, I'm sitting here nodding, going, I remember you, and all the inhalers and the things that you had, and knowing that you were uncomfortable. And I'm so thrilled for you that you're feeling better, and feeling really, really well. So I flipped to the next slide because you started talking about some of the particular oils that were useful to you in addition to the Lifelong Vitality. So with this sheet that's in front of us is a little bit different than the one that Emily was making reference to in her little presentation there. So I wanted to just let you know that when I hold a class in person, when I have a room full of people, I hand this out. And people are scrambling to take notes and write things down. And I like to ask everyone, what do you want to feel less of? And when hands begin to go up, lots of times it's not just what we're talking about tonight, the physical challenges, but it's also stress, and that comes along. And one thing that I don't think Michelle really emphasized was the fact that you can be using an essential oil to help you to support something like your seasonal challenges, and suddenly realize that it's also helping you with how you're managing your anxious and stressful feelings, because it's just got this way of getting in and touching on all the different body systems. And I know that's totally your jam, Michelle, the whole, you're nodding, I can unmute you if you want, that whole thing about emotions. And I found that even though I concentrate on using oils really for my physical wellness, keeping my immunity strong and protecting me from catching every little thing and stuff, I don't specifically have seasonal challenges, although as the years roll on, I am noticing that it's happening more and more. But that said, I find that I am dealing with those stressors, life's little things, in a totally different way. And I do feel like using the oils has changed me on such a cellular level. It's kind of inexplicable, and you need to just give in and do it, and you'll see for yourself. And that's what I can say about that. I mean, there are an infinite number of resources for you to look at on the internet to find different videos and different testimonials, and we all have our closed groups. So please seek out the person that invited you to participate in this presentation and ask them for more information. But anyway, that said, tonight we're concentrating on I want to feel less of seasonal challenges, and I want to feel more energetic and focused, because when I use some of the available resources like over-the-counter products to help support the symptoms, I don't feel focused, I don't feel energy, I don't feel alive. So if you can start to move away from that stuff and move on to using Lifelong Vitality or essential oils to help support those challenges, that'll be great. I promise you, it's going to be more than just getting rid of those physical symptoms, but you're just going to see a complete change in your whole outlook. So I don't need to go over every single one of these oils, but I can tell you that there's a set of top 10 oils, and then there's a couple of others that are sort of peppered in here, and the top 10 aren't named in this particular kit. But Breathe is one of the ones that is in our top 10 kits. And what's wonderful about Breathe is it's called the respiratory blend, and it's just that. It's going to help to support your respiratory passages, keeping that open, and helping you with some of the symptoms that I talked about earlier, the congestion, the running, the snoring, and the mouth breathing during the day, because it's going to help to open those passages, which is wonderful. Lemon, lavender, and peppermint together are a natural antihistamine, which I'm going to go over on another slide, more specific oils to this. But there are so many, I wasn't ready for that though. There are so many simple solutions that you can reach for, and I'll go over a couple in more detail, but there are many. And an important thing to note is that every person's body chemistry is different. So the fact that Breathe blend is so fantastic for everyone, you may notice that it helps to support you, but that alone isn't the silver bullet for you, and you need to reach for something else as well. A little experimenting isn't a bad thing, and it's also important to note that, like I had mentioned earlier, you may try one drop, but you can't just it is a little bit different than what you might just go grab one of those 24-hour time release kind of things. You may need to apply it every 2 hours or so to an area of concern or something. So that said, the thing that Michelle touched on too was lifelong vitality. And what I love about that is that lifelong vitality helps to support inflammation. Now, again, I'm counting on you to still make those similar, those simple lifestyle tweaks like eliminating the triggers for you, anything, the cross-reactivity foods or the high histamine foods or the low quercetin foods. So you want to take a look at those things, but you also can know that when you take lifelong vitality, it's helping your body for energy, for focus relief, and for your overall well-being. I mean, I know some people who take it simply to help them manage stress. I know some people who take it simply to help them manage other physical conditions that cause them joint discomfort. Some people have regular head pain that comes all the time, and some people have it monthly, and it's kind of a hormonal issue. So did I say secular and not circular or cyclical? Yes, I think I did. So all of those things apply. So lifelong vitality comes in a set of 3 bottles, and it's the Microplex VMZ, which is your whole food multivitamins and minerals. What that is it gives you like 11 or 12 servings of fruits and vegetables right there. They're whole foods. So if you're not someone who's getting all your servings, and even, the recommended dosage is like 5 a day. And I think we'd all be hard pressed to say we eat even 5 or 6 servings of fruits and vegetables a day. So right there, you're covered. The Alpha CRS is your antioxidant formula. It's all about helping to support your mitochondria. This is your cellular energy and your longevity. This is going in and fixing. It's helping to support your cells deep inside. It's helping to encourage apoptosis in your body. And then the Exi Omega is the high quality omega 3, 6, and 9 fatty acids and 9 essential oils. So we're looking at antioxidant and DNA protection, your eye, brain, and nervous system support, your liver function and digestive health. And by the way, I also have contact with people in my day job, if you will, who use lifelong vitality to help support digestive issues. Again, we're talking about taking down inflammation, which is the root of all of these things that we're talking about, not just your seasonal challenges. You're going to have more energy and less overall discomfort. So your immunity is going to be protected, your stress management, your cardiovascular health, and again, your healthy inflammatory response, which is typically the root cause. So what I love is that right now, this moment in time, in the month of April of 2018, doTERRA happens to be promoting a daily health habits challenge. So what that means is they made up a special package of products that are available all together in a kit. But I'm not going to go into the specific details about that, only to say that the things that are listed on this handout, which is on your screen right now in the bottom right, it includes all of those things. The Lifelong Vitality Pack, Terrazyme, which is a digestive support. It's actually a digestive enzyme that is fantastic. It helps to break down foods, specifically if you're eating things that are a little bit harder to digest. Lemon oil to help gently detox your body if you want to put a drop of that in your water, in your glass a couple of times a day. Frankincense oil gives you cellular support, couple drops under your tongue in the morning or at night or both, which is something I do. doTERRA On Guard every morning and night without fail. I use that, and knock wood, I've been safe for a really long time. I don't want to say any more than that and jinx myself, but I can tell you it works. Balance is so fantastic. If you're looking for grounding, if you're someone that knows you just need that extra support, you're that tree that's swaying in the wind. I know that's Michelle's thing, and I'm taking it from you, but we've heard it a million times in other presentations. Balance is going to give your roots that firm resolve. You are not going to have to worry about letting life stressors take you down. You are going to feel strong in every way with your balance. It helps all of you. Again, I keep throwing around the phrase cellular level, but It's so much more than that grounding, that balance feeling, but it's about even something as small as if you need to go have lab work done. If you're someone who eats a lot of sugar and you need to go and get a regular finger stick for any reason, if they were to look at that under a slide, they'd see it all kind of coagulated and stuck together. But if you apply a little bit of balance to the bottom of your feet, or if you know you're going to have some labs done, go ahead and do that. I promise you, you will not have any trouble getting things started. If you were to then look at it under a slide, you'd see that everything's moving in a completely different way than before you put that balance on your body. So in addition to that, PB Assist, which is doTERRA's very high quality and double encapsulated probiotic, and it also contains prebiotic, doesn't need to be refrigerated, is so fantastic and will help to support your digestive tract. And this is all part of supporting inflammation in your body. That is going to be the key to helping to manage these seasonal challenges. So with that, I'm moving on. I put this little thing together because doTERRA has created a product called Tri-Ease that was introduced several years ago. It contains lemon, lavender, and peppermint oils in equal parts in each seasonal blend soft gel. So you can take one a day. During really, really high peak days, you can take more than one a day. These three oils together are helping your body, and it's helping to support your histamine levels in your body. We're not just talking about even seasonal threats now. We're talking about things like I talked about earlier, like mold or dander or other environmental threats. Or even if you have a histamine response like hives to something else, and you know it's not anaphylactic. I wanna really emphasize that. I'm not gonna tell you to take this if you're starting to feel your throat closing up or anything, but you can take Tri-Ease to help you with other, supporting other histamine reactions besides just seasonal threats. There are some other oils that can also help to support seasonal threats, like eucalyptus oil, which will help to open up your lungs and your sinuses. What that does is it improves your circulation, which just begins to move things around. It just by virtue of that, it's reducing symptoms. Or you could take that same eucalyptus oil and put it in a cup of steaming water. By the way, everything that you see now on your screen, there's a bottle of eucalyptus, a Roman chamomile, a basil, a bottle of Tri-Ease, and then the lemon, lavender, and peppermint. There are so many other oils that can support your seasonal challenges. These are just a select few. I couldn't even begin to go over every single oil that would help support an individual's needs. But eucalyptus is one that is a strong supporter of the symptoms of seasonal challenges. Roman chamomile will help to calm anything that's on your skin, like I was saying, any kind of hiving or rashes or physical symptoms. That said, if you are someone that does react to ragweed, royal chamomile would not be one that you'd want to choose because it is actually in that family of plant species. So you want to stay away from that one. Basil oil reduces your body's inflammatory response to allergens, which is awesome because it's also helping to detoxify your body of bacteria and pathogens. So just applying that to the bottom of your feet or taking a drop and, like Michelle said, inhaling it from your hands or inhaling from the bottle if that's all you can do at that moment. That's another great way. There's another thing that I like to do while I don't necessarily always have seasonal challenges, but if I do feel any kind of congestion at any time, I'll take Melaleuca, which is tea tree oil, peppermint, lemon, and oregano, and I'll put a drop of each of those into a cup of boiling water. And you could also add eucalyptus and basil to that if it's seasonal, and just take that cup of boiling water, add a drop of each, cup your hands around it, and inhale deeply till the water begins to cool and there's no more vapor. That will completely knock everything out of your sinus cavity, and it will help to support your body all the way deep inside in that inflammatory response. So the Tri-Ease soft gels are a great way to start. If you really want that convenience, by all means. But like Michelle said, you could take lemon, lavender, and peppermint and put it in your diffuser. You could also put it in a little ounce of water and take it like a shot. You could put it in a roller bottle and apply it to your feet. Those 3 oils together are usually the go-to. And by the way, if you're even out with your family and somebody gets a mosquito bite, you could put it on that just to soothe the itch. So, and any of those could be used individually. It's important to note that any citrus oil will cause photosensitivity. If you are enjoying a day out in the sun, you wouldn't want to use the lemon, lavender, and peppermint combo to support a mosquito bite or anything topically because of that. But you could just grab your peppermint oil and it will cool down an itch or a bee sting or anything. It'll take that itch right down. So Tri-E soft gels were developed to protect against seasonal and environmental elements and to promote your healthy respiratory system when you need it most, meaning during that period of seasonal threats. And it contains equal parts of lemon, lavender, and peppermint oils. So again, so many others you could choose to use together or individually. And one of the oils that I didn't mention here, but I mentioned in the Healthy Habits Challenge is frankincense. It's a fantastic oil just to support inflammation. So even if you just choose that one to use on the bottom of your feet, again, it takes 2 seconds, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, put them all on. Get, almost every one of the top 10 oils are sold in roller bottles. So you could just get them easily that way and go ahead and swipe each one on your foot and move along, go about your business. So anyway, again, if anybody is thinking of any questions, go ahead and put them into the chat and then we can talk about them once we've gone over all the other details. I am going to move on to my friend Emily to help to explain a little bit about how you can get essential oils in your home. I know we have some new people here and we have some people who are already members that just wanted to learn some more tips about supporting their seasonal challenges. So I'll go ahead and let Emily describe what she's got to say and then I'll hop in. Don't be intimidated. She's going to go over all the kits that are available. There's not many. This is only going to be a few minutes, but there are some that have every single oil in them, so they cost a little more money, and then there's lots of different price points. Never want to make any assumptions because I know there are some people who feel really strongly about getting started on their natural health journey and they want to have every single oil in their home, and I think that's a fantastic way to get started, but it's not realistic for everyone. I like at least helping people to make sure that they get those top 10 oils in their home because they can replace every single thing you could possibly need out of your cabinet. So at the very least, that's a great way to start, but let me let her tell you about it.
So we've discussed questions 1 and 2. What are essential oils and how do we use them? Now we've come to the best part of the class. How do we get these oils into our home, right? Okay, so let's continue on in your handout. Open up to this page, which is page 4. This goes over all the enrollment kits, which we'll go over in just a second. And then this goes over all of our pricing. And you'll want to look in the bold price column because those are your wholesale prices. Over here, this is the enrollment form that you're going to want to fill out before you leave the class today and turn into your host. All right, I don't know any of your financial situation, and I don't want to assume, so we're going to go ahead and cover all 7 of our enrollment kits just really briefly. All right, let's start with the Dream Kit. This is the Diamond Kit. This has every single product that doTERRA creates. It has every single oil. It has the emotional aromatherapy system. It has the Aroma Touch Kit. It has the entire On Guard line to help you replace all of your cleaning products and laundry and soap. It has the Lifelong Vitality Pack. It has all of the supplements. It has everything you need to support healthy gut management and healthy weight and fitness. It has the Every Oil Kit bag, and it has also a little perk that comes with it. So when you put through your 100 PV or product value order this following month, you will receive 400 free product credits. In addition, you will start at 25% back on the Loyalty Rewards program. So that means, let's say you spent $100 next month. Cha-ching! 25 points would appear for you to spend as you will in your virtual office. Super cool. Okay, moving on to the Every Oil Kit. The Every Oil Kit contains every single oil that doTERRA sources. And it comes with the 8-hour diffuser. And it also comes with a perk that when you place, again, that 100 product value order next month, you get 20% back with the Every Oil Kit. So you spend $100, cha-ching, $20 appears in your back office, and the 200 product credits. So it's a great deal. The next kit we're going to cover is the Cleanse and Restore Kit. This has everything you'll need to do a wonderful 30-day cleanse. I did this just a few months ago, and it is so amazing for gut management and overall health support. The next kit is the Emotional Aromatherapy Kit. If you're someone who really wants to hone in on improving your moods, then this may be a good fit for you. It comes with 6 blends and the 4-hour diffuser. Now we'll go over the Family Physicians Kit. The Family Physicians Kit contains 10 of the most foundational oils that we have in doTERRA, and they come in the 85 drop size or the 5 milliliter size. If you'd like these foundational oils but like to upgrade to a larger size and a diffuser, then the Home Essentials Kit may be the right fit for you. You get all the same oils, but you get 250 drops instead of 85, and you get the diffuser as well. My favorite kit, I will just have to say, is the Natural Solutions Kit, and that's what you see right here. And let me tell you why. The Natural Solutions Kit has been specially formulated to help families make that transition onto that natural path and start in lots of different areas in their home. For example, you have a lot of the mood oils. You have those foundational oils for immune system support. You have the past tense oil, which we use all the time to relieve feelings of tension. We have the Clary Calm to support women during that time of the month. We have Correct X, which is wonderful for occasional skin irritation and abrasions. We have the Lifelong Vitality Pack. We have the 8-hour diffuser. We have the On Guard products like toothpaste and hand foaming wash. We have the fractionated coconut oil, again, good for sensitive skin, for children's skin. Comes with the Terrazyme, wonderful for gut health. Comes with the Breathe stick. You can put Breathe right on your neck. And we have the On Guard beadlets that you can just pop in when you need immune support. We've got the Deep Blue Rub, and we've got the HD Clear hand foaming wash. As you can see, there's just massive value in this kit. It gets basically every member in your family going on whatever challenge they're working on right now. And when you place that 100 product value order on your Loyalty Rewards program next month, you'll receive 100 free product credits for getting the Natural Solutions Kit. And you'll start at 15% back on the Loyalty Rewards program. It's just so much value in this kit. So right now, you've just had this class. You received all of this valuable information. We've talked through these 7 kits, and you're probably feeling so overwhelmed. Where do I begin? Remember the list of health priorities that you wrote at the beginning of the class? Now it's time to bring that up. And it's time to start looking up some solutions. The best question, though, when trying to decide which kit should I buy, what should I do? This is my question I have for you. How serious are you today about taking control of your health? As you look at whatever you're struggling with, whether it be energy or mood or gut management, whatever it is, how serious are you? And if you are serious about making changes in your home, then I would suggest, if I were you, getting at least the Natural Solutions Kit or higher. When you're first starting on this natural path, there is a little bit of an investment. But I'd like to invite you today to get a little skin in the game, to make those changes. If you are serious about taking control of your health, then choose something today that can really support that goal. We are so excited for you to have these oils at your fingertips too. We're so honored to be a part of your journey. You know, when I started on this path a few years ago, I had the awe-inspiring sense that I was truly changing my family's legacy forever, that literally who I was going to become and who my children were going to become was going to be affected for the better by having these oils in our life and aligning with the caliber of people that doTERRA attracts. I love the idea of becoming the true leading lady or leading man of your life. I am so happy and grateful to be involved in an endeavor that truly engages my life purpose and mission, which is to help people change their story and help them create a life that they were meant to live. Thank you for joining us. I wish you luck as you write the next chapter in your story. Aloha.
Okay, I need to stop that. I don't know about you guys, but like, I feel like standing on a mountaintop and shouting. Every single word she said rings true for me. And I know, I am positive, I'm speaking for all of my colleagues when I say it's not just about supporting your challenges, but it's about knowing that you're doing what's right for your body and for the environment and for the world. And if you are somebody who's enjoying using your oils and you don't really want to make a business of it, that is okay. But we do hope that you'll definitely let your friends and family know, and and put them in touch with us, and we'll help them get started for sure. But anyway, I just loved the way she was able to really describe all the details in every kit that she does it so beautifully. Why reinvent the wheel? So I just want to go over a couple of other things. Emily was my last slide. I forgot to put in the one that said like, thanks, but I do want to briefly go over a couple of other things. And that is, first of all, if you are excited and you're not someone who's already enrolled as a wholesale customer with doTERRA, please get in touch with the person that invited you to participate tonight, because I know that they are as anxious to help you as you are to get what you need to feel great, not just to support your seasonal challenges, but your entire life and well-being and foundational health and wellness and all of it, your emotional journey, every piece. But before that, I want to let you know that once you go ahead and get them to help you get your wholesale membership started, there's something called loyalty rewards. And what I love about that is that it's a program that provides free product credits in the form of points for your monthly purchases. So after you enroll and you get your kit to get started, they offer this fantastic program where you're qualified to begin the month following your membership purchase, and you can immediately begin to earn points that can be used as cash toward any of your future doTERRA products that you want to purchase. The longer you continuously participate, the more credits you can earn, and it goes up in increments of 5% each month. So Emily did touch a little bit on how, you're going to magically get, I liked how she kept saying cha-ching, you're going to get these points in your account. So if you, let's say, for, math's sake, you're spending 100, your orders are 100 PV in the first 3 months, you're always going to get 10 points added into your account. And then the next 3 months, you're going to get 15. And then the next, it's going to go 20, 25, and 30. It maxes out at 30. But think about that. You're buying 100 PV worth of product and you're getting 30 points back at the end of every month. So it's kind of like just this constant, revolving line of points that you can use to make purchases. Now, you should note that as you order, you can modify that every single month. There's not really an auto ship set up because you can go in and change it as many times as you like. I consider it a fantastic, convenient place for me to go in each month and change it. Some months I order my oils and a couple of other things like my On Guard concentrated cleaner and my hand soap, and another month I'm going to order my laundry detergent and my Virage skincare system, and then another month I might order I'm totally blanking out, the trim shake or something. It's always going to be different, but I've always run out of 1 or 2 oils. I mean, every single month. And another beautiful thing about their loyalty reward program is that if your order is at or above 125 PV on any month between the 1st and the 15th, as long as it processes between those dates, you're also going to get the free product of the month, which is a wonderful thing. It's just a free oil that you're getting. And this month, the free product of the month is Breathe. So everyone, just for ordering between the 1st and the 15th, they got a 5 ml bottle of Breathe in their order for free. So anyway, it's a beautiful thing. I like to call it one-stop shopping for eliminating toxins in my home. I've literally replaced everything. I don't know the last time that I took an over-the-counter remedy or a prescription for anything. So I encourage you to go ahead and try that challenge with your oils, and by incorporating in the Lifelong Vitality, the digestive support supplements. And if you are facing seasonal challenges, any of the oils that we discussed, and again, there are so many others, they just didn't fit in this graphic, but oils like I said, Melaleuca, which is tea tree, oregano, which is fantastic for helping to support bacteria on a different level than some of the other oils. So with that, I'm going to say thank you so very much on behalf of myself and Michelle. I want to say thanks for joining us. And we are going to end this recording, but please feel free to stay on and ask questions. We're going to unmute everyone at that point.